Boom. Hey, what's going on, everybody? We are live right here on Facebook. I was going to say Facebook Marketplace, but no. We're here live here at the b.hive Studios on your favorite page, the b.hive Productions page. And thank you all very much, my friends, for joining me here tonight. I'm really wishing this was whiskey, but we're gonna handle this. We're gonna handle this sober. Hey there, Jessica. How are you doing? Thank you for joining us. Hey, Beth. What's going on, Kevin? Good to see you all. Um, yeah, so it's a big night. Chapter 20. I've been kind of dreading this chapter. Once I read it, you might see why. I was, and I still might not, but I was thinking about not including this chapter in the book. Um, because um it involves people, and I don't want to dig up the ghosts for them. This is about my own ghosts. So but I thought it was um very important to include this event in Broken Bird's life, because it's a big part of what broke his wings. And yeah, so that's what tonight's story is going to be about. So we're just going to do the one chapter, and yeah, we'll call it good after that, and maybe we'll chat a little bit afterwards as well. Um, this chapter has gone through a million rewrites, and it has been discussed in a lot of writing groups that I belong to, and still not really sure how I was going to tell this story. But it is what it is. I think I did the best job I could at not revealing too much, but still hitting home where it counts. So there is that. Anyhow, how are you guys doing? I don't think I've talked to you guys since Thanksgiving. I hope you guys all had a good Thanksgiving. I had probably the best brisket I have ever had in my life on Thanksgiving. I hung out with Matthew and Wanda Hector and their family. They invite me over to their place every year. I used to have Thanksgiving with Pimo and his family, and then yeah, then life got busy, man, and he's got grandkids. Of course, he wants to spend time with, and so my new venue became Matthew's place. They've been nice enough to ask me back every year, and there's always good food over there. Oh my God! And now, Thanksgiving isn't Thanksgiving until I show up, I guess. But yes, I got to bring home leftovers, Kevin, and this is my first year bringing home leftovers, so I shared it a little bit with people at home, but yeah, for the most part, I ate most of the leftovers because that's just who I am. But anyhow, yeah. So I hope you guys had Kevin. I know you had your son and your granddaughter. That had to have been awesome. Did you have them out at your farm? So hey, Beth, how are you? Um, yeah, I'm trying to think. Is Bobby at a meeting tonight? So, and Beth, how was your trip up to St. Cloud? Yeah, that is the best. So I usually text my kids and wish them a happy Thanksgiving, and youngest daughter was going over to her in-laws, and my oldest had to work. She works with autistic people, kids, and she really loves the work. So good on her. And she had to work on Thanksgiving. So, and she said she's not celebrating it later, so she just skipped out on it, which I totally understand, hon. I was always in a profession that I didn't really have holidays. So 9-year-old little girls is really interesting. Yeah, I bet it is. I bet it is, man. They kind of soften you up. Um, I mean, my daughters softened me up enough, but yeah, once I saw the granddaughters, man, yeah, I was just pretty much a puddle. So, but yeah. Um, so anyhow, yeah, I got a call from or a text from my dad and my stepmom and and my siblings, of course. And yeah, that's kind of the it's funny how time changes holidays. Um, because it starts off, everybody's going to grandma's, everybody's going to grandma's house, and then next thing you know, uh, the grandkids get married, and then the grandkids are going to the in-laws' house, and then well, my parents got divorced, so then I was celebrating Christmases all over the place. Um, that was yeah, that was just nuts. I spent would do like 2 or 3 Thanksgivings. Oh, you had to work. Well, did you at least get some a big feast or anything? Some food? Anybody bring you food, Jessica? If I would have known that, I would have brought you a little bit of that brisket. Just a little bit though, not a whole lot. I'm a little selfish when it comes to brisket. So anyhow, we had yeah, you get married and then you have your own kids and then it just becomes in-laws and then all that stuff just kind of next thing you know you're not doing holidays at all. It's especially hard when the people that used to um put together the holidays are gone. You did not get well, that's too bad, Jessica. I'm sorry. Um it sucks when the people who put holidays together pass away. Because um, then everybody kind of walks around in limbo. I know after my grandma died, uh, we all kind of ran around in circles, not really knowing what to do. So my aunt did it for a little while, and then her kids, my cousins, they started having kids and going through their lives and stuff. So yeah, things just get all crazy. So anyhow, this year for Christmas, I'll be here during Christmas, but I'll be going to Miami, Florida. Well, not Miami. I'll be going to Delray Beach, Florida, over the holidays and spending a week over there with my dad and my stepmom and my sisters. So that'll be fun. And my new brother-in-law and future brother-in-law, or I shouldn't say that. I'll doom my sister, but my my sister's boyfriend. We'll say that. That's safe. So, anyhow, yeah, that's what we got going on. And I'm sorry Jessica didn't get a Thanksgiving meal. I hope the rest of you did. I didn't see Chuck come in here. Um, but yeah, holidays sometimes are harder times of the year than they are joyous. So, and I don't think Bobby understands that very well, but he tries his darndest to make me appreciate Christmas, and I'm slowly getting there. Slowly getting there. You too, Kevin. You too, and you're wanting Christmas songs and Christmas stories. I tell you. So, if you haven't noticed, I'm avoiding starting the story. Um, I might go to Florida tomorrow. It's gonna be cold. Are you really going to Florida, or are you just threatening to go to Florida? There's a difference there. I don't know if Kate'll let you go. She'd be like, if I gotta suffer, you gotta suffer. That's what happens when you get married, man. You marry a Minnesotan, you don't go very far. So there you go, man. I couldn't I couldn't get either one of my wives, my first one or my second one. I couldn't get them to move to New Zealand. So well, there you go. They didn't even want to live by an ocean. I mean, who doesn't want that? Anyhow, wishing. I hear you, buddy. I hear you. I'm already wanting sun and sand myself. So, well, if you want, why don't you come down and come down over the holidays with me? We fly down together. So I don't know if my dad'll buy your ticket, but you know, you could use your pension, right? So, all right, we're gonna jump into the story here. I think, yeah, something like that. All right, hang on a second, you guys. Do 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 do. I'm really digging this pure leaf raspberry iced tea. It'd probably go really good with some whiskey. Probably everything goes good with whiskey, including trouble. You're looking for trouble. Oh, I have to. Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that tomorrow. So let's see what do we got here. Do 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 do. Yeah, I was gonna have the phone just interferes way too much with my equipment here. So I was using it for a monitor while I read because I can't see what you guys are saying when I read. Maybe I'll get yeah, maybe I'll get a second monitor. I'll get a second monitor and then I can look at both screens. Something like that. All righty then. Here we go. The Ballad of Broken Bird, Chapter 20. They were right. Traffic sucked. I spent most of the 4.5 hours with the motorcycle turned off. By the time I reached the Pacific Coast Highway, it was well past lunch, and I had started at 6 a.m. I was extremely hungry and decided to stop at a small little food truck that sat up on a cliff overlooking the ocean. Hey, Pop, I said into the little flip phone. Hey, kid. He sounded tired but happy. You on the road again? Yeah, just made it out of Seattle, Tacoma, and stopped for some tacos. Spent a little more than a month in Seattle. Yep. Did you get serious with your new friend? Huh, something like that, but nothing like that. Anyhow, how's your health doing? Dad's surgery went well. They're giving him 30 days of chemo to make sure they got it all. Good. I get a little tuckered easier now, but I'm good. Your stepmother keeps me exercising. Well, that's good. I'm glad you got her, Dad. So where are you headed to next? San Fran, hopefully by tomorrow. You gonna stay overnight in Oregon? Yep. You're gonna camp? Well, that's why I've got the tent, Pops. There was an uncomfortable silence. There was a knowing in that silence. He knew why I was stopping in Oregon, and I knew what he was going to say. It just took a while for me and the old man to form words and speak them. Don't go there, son. It's not going to do anybody any good. Yeah, I kind of have to. Why can't you just let that ghost lay? What good is it going to do you to go back there? Because none of us dealt with it, Dad. He was silent, as if I'd slapped him. And I felt bad for raising my voice to him, but I felt that I had to be heard. So you think you're going to solve everything? He said bitterly. Probably not, but it will put it to rest for me. I'm going to go, son. It's late. Have a good night, Pops. He didn't return the sentiment. He just said, okay, and hung up. I looked at my last taco and threw it away. My stomach was suddenly upset, and I was filled with rage. I hopped on Lucy, jumped on Highway 1, and headed south, with this horrible memory in my head as the scene of the ocean sped by. In the mid-'80s, my father bought a used Winnebago. It was a boxy camper on wheels that slept six. Its maiden voyage was going to be to the West Coast. It was my parents, my little sister, and an older foster brother, Alan. He was a beefy kid with fucked up teeth. He was around 17, and he and I were close. And then there was my other foster brother, Trent. He was 14 and also Native American. We stopped at Circus Circus in Las Vegas and then moved on to Disneyland in Los Angeles. We jumped on the Pacific Coast Highway and made it up to a beautiful little campground in Oregon called Sunnyside Resort and Campgrounds. The campground sat nestled between two large cliffs that bordered the small lagoon that the campers had played in. It was windy and gray out there. Weren't many on the beach. Our parents left us in the camp store while they set up camp. I, of course, sat in front of a rack of comic books they had on a spinning rack. Alan checked out magazines while Missy looked at the toys. She was 4 then, just about 5. When we found our purchases, we paid and left. The campground had a mini golf course and seemed to be pretty packed. The smell of campfires and grilling meat, mixed with the salty brine scent of the ocean, was something I packed away with this memory. I don't think my parents could have picked a better campground. When we reached the camper, Dad was grilling and Mom was setting up the picnic table. About time, guys, Mom said. You know how it gets around comic books, Alan said. Hey, Dad spoke up. Why don't you make yourselves useful and go grab some firewood for tonight? Alan and I sighed. Come on, Pops, I said. Can we check out the beach first and then grab firewood on the way back? Camping isn't all fun and games, Mom spoke up. Think I like having to cook, vacuum, and do dishes while I'm on vacation? Now go grab some firewood and then you guys can go check out the beach. Okay, fine, I said. Don't mope, you shit ass. Just do it. I said, okay. Alan grabbed my arm. Come on, man, before you get too deep. Mom don't look so happy. After grabbing the firewood, we stopped at camp and Mom and Dad were gone. Trent and Missy were setting the table for dinner. Where's Mom and Dad at? I asked. They took a walk to the beach, Trent said. They said to meet them there. I thought it was odd that they wanted us to go there so close to dinner. Are you guys coming? I asked. Trent shook his head. No, Mom asked me to set up. Missy, she wanted to stay with Trent and play with the dolls she bought at the camp store. The beach was vacant, no chicks, no parents, but someone did leave a Nerf football on the beach. So we tossed it around while we waded into the ocean waves. We goofed around for about a half hour. The sun was starting to set. The hell is Mom and Dad? I asked. I don't know. They should have been here by now. I reckon we ought to head back. I'm guessing supper's probably ready. As if on cue, Dad came out onto the beach. His face was red, and his eyes were darkened but wet looking, as if he'd been crying. Dad, what's up? I started to say. Where the fuck have you been? He shouted. We were at the. Get your fucking asses back to the camper. We're leaving. What? Get your fucking asses moving now. Dad, what happened? Dad looked at me with such anger. Just get back. We're going back to Minnesota. I didn't say any more. Me and my brother just dummied up, ran back to the campsite. Mom's expression mirrored Dad's. She was folding up the tablecloth when we walked up. Get in the fucking camper, she spat. Ma, I tried to ask, what's going on? Where's Trent? Where's Missy? Just get into the fucking camper! She grabbed my shirt and put her angry face into mine. This is your fault! We climbed into the camper, and Missy sat there in the seat near the front. She was crying and curled up on the chair. Trent sat way in the back on the couch. He didn't look up, only sitting there looking at his hands. Missy? I asked softly. Are you okay? She just grunted and then hid her face. I sat in back next to Trent in the chair across from Missy. Dad got back and started the engine. Mom slammed the side door, sat next to Missy, holding her tightly, while Missy clearly looked like she didn't want to be touched. What's going on, man? I asked Trent. I don't know, he shrugged, not looking at me. Your mom just kind of freaked out on everyone, and now we're heading home. We drove straight through from Oregon to Minnesota. No one said a word. It was common for my parents to argue while on vacation, but never like this. We got home close to noon the next day. We unpacked everything. Trent went straight to his bedroom, which was on the main floor. Alan and I unpacked the Winnebago and took our luggage to our separate rooms. When all my stuff was put away, I went downstairs into the living room where my parents sat. Dad rocked quietly in his chair and Mom was fighting back tears. So, I asked with as much courage as I could muster, does someone mind telling me what is going on? Your sister went with Trent to get more firewood, Mom started. When they hadn't returned, your father and I went looking for them. We stopped by the beach and didn't see them there or the camp store. And when we got back to the camper, oh, Jesus, I wasn't sure what she was trying to say, but I wasn't stupid either. And there was a little alarm going off in the back of my head. So, did you ask Missy what happened? I asked. She won't say anything. She hasn't said a word since. I'll go up and talk to her. She had the room upstairs across the hall from me. She was snuggled in her strawberry shortcake comforter. Her eyes looked dead, but her cheeks were raw like she'd been crying for a long time. Hey, kiddo, I said, and sat next to her. She didn't speak. What's wrong, sis? She wouldn't look at me. Missy, it's okay. Tell me. I can't, she whispered in her little girl voice. I just can't. Sure you can. I'm your big brother. You can tell me anything. He, he, he told me. Who did? Trent? She nodded her head. What did he say to you? You can tell me. You're my baby sister. He, he said if I told you, you, you wouldn't, you wouldn't love me any more. She burst into tears again. I wrapped her little shoulders up in my arms, and I kissed her head. Missy, I said quietly, I will always love you, no matter what. You could tell me you killed someone and stole $1 million, and I wouldn't tell anybody, and I would still love you as much as I do today. Oh, okay. She tried to sniffle her tears in. No. What aren't you supposed to tell me? What she told me set a fire inside of me. I can't even write it down in this journal. I can't even picture it in my mind because that same volcanic rage boils inside of me today. As I'm writing this down in this fucking journal, my hands are shaking. I blacked out. The room got a bloody shade of red, and I felt my body walking, sprinting out of her room, down the stairs, and to the spare room. I barely recall Trent getting up to shut the door on me, and I kicked it in, and it threw him back. And I remember cursing and growling, but everything had just gotten blurry. When I came to my senses, the police were holding me while an EMT rushed him out into an ambulance. His face looked like hamburger. The room was torn up. The TV was smashed. The window was smashed. And there was broken glass and wood splinters where a closet used to be. There was a good amount of blood all over the room and myself as well. I never saw Trent again, not in school or anywhere. He had become a ghost. After Mom died, while I was going through her stuff, I found a letter he had written to me. It was postmarked 1991. She never mentioned the letter to me, and that's probably a good thing, since it had his return address on it. Back then, I would have found him and finished what I started. He was living in northern Minnesota. His family moved and tried to make a new start. They put him in counseling. He apologized for what he did, said his uncles had done it to him when he was little. To me, those are just excuses. Because if something shitty happens to you and you know that it's shitty, then don't fucking repeat it. I never brought this up to anyone. Nobody in the family talked about it. I mean, what a shitty thing to ask if someone remembers. Maybe that's why my siblings try to be estranged from me. I always bring up the painful stuff. Nah, this will die with me and my dad. I mean, I guess you know now, don't you? Yeah. And you're thinking, what a shitty thing for a brother to do. Publish something so shitty. I guess it's just one of those things that happen that eats away at me like the cancer in my body. I mean, maybe I shouldn't have put this in here, but this is a big part of what broke my wings. This is the life of Broken Bird. Maybe this will never get published. And maybe this is what held me up when writing this down. But here it is. Maybe it won't be by the end of this story. Maybe some editor will think it wise to take this out. But this memory sits behind every drink that goes in my mouth, behind every punch that I've ever thrown, and every tear that has ever fallen from my eyes. And here I am. I'm writing this shit out while I sit on that same beach I sat on 36 years later. I can almost see my brother going long for that Nerf ball to spiral into his chest. I can't bring myself to walk over to the old campsite. I laid there in the sand staring up at the sky. Dusk was leaving, and as the clouds faded, the stars came out. So many stars. So many ancestors. Here I am alone with this memory that I wish never happened, and the ocean waves sang me to sleep. Son? Mama? I couldn't see her in the night air, but I could hear her voice in the ocean waves, and I could smell her perfume. I'm here. I didn't want to start crying because it would wake me up, so I used everything I had to keep my composure. Why are you here, my son? You know why I'm here. This is a ghost that I have to face. The only way to heal this scar is to face it. I feel like I'm the only one carrying this around. Dad has done his best to forget it. Missy, I don't know. Oh, kiddo, this is just a place. You won't heal anything here. It will only open your wounds, and you'll bleed more than you'll heal. You told me this was my fault! You spat it right in my face! I'm sorry, my son. I've laid many burdens on you in this life. Some were to toughen you up for the road ahead. But this one is not something I should have laid on you. I cannot change it. Well, here I am, a dying old man carrying it around. The solace you seek in there is not here. This is only a place. And what happened was not your fault. How am I supposed to heal this? Do I die with this on my heart? Do I find Trent and kill the son of a bitch? Finish what I started? I'll go to prison for her. Fuck, I'll be dead before trial anyways. I got nothing to lose. Since the birth of your little sister, you've protected her with everything you had. You took as many bullets as you could, but some will get through, and some did. You were there for all of the misses, too. I couldn't have asked for a better brother for her. I feel like I'm walking around with the biggest secret in the world. I can't even tell those involved. It sucks. Before you go, spend some time with her. You'll find your healing there, my son. I opened my eyes to the night sky. The moon was hidden beyond the east horizon now. The stars were a weak twinkle in a gossamer curtain. My mother's whispers died into the crashing waves of high tide. And maybe that's all this was, a dream fueled by painful memories and ocean tides. Maybe I was just giving myself advice in my mother's voice. I was raised with the belief that the ancestors always spoke to me, that everything had a meaning, every animal carried a message, every plant had a purpose. My mother taught me that. My father taught that sometimes shit just happens, that there were no spiritual meanings behind events, that life is cruel sometimes, and sometimes it's nice. We don't get to choose. It's all how we react to it. So I live with both schools of thought inside of me, constantly battling to make sense of what life had to offer. Ah, well, it makes whiskey taste sweeter, I guess. I watched the sun rise over my back as I faced an angry ocean. It felt good to have the sun's heat hit my back. Some of the animosity I had inside of me began to untangle. I pulled out my phone and I dialed my sister. What the hell? She said groggily on the other end. Hey, sis, I said with a hint of sadness in my voice. Are you okay? Are you in jail? I laughed. Her voice sounded like Mom's. No, kid, nothing like that. What's up? What time is it? It's it's sunup. Nothing is happening. Just waking up on a beach, and I miss you. I'm so jealous. Where are you at? Oregon. I paused a moment to see how that felt. I'm watching the tide go out. Nice. You slept on the beach? Yeah. I got sand in some bad places. She laughed. Gross. Say, you ever dream about Mom? She paused this time. Sometimes I wake up crying. Yeah, I get that. Me too. Did you dream about her last night? Yeah. You know what she'd say about that? If you dream about someone that has passed, that means they visited you. I finished. We both laughed humorlessly. Do you want to hear something freaky? She asked. Duh. So, my phone at the office rang 2 weeks after Mom passed. But that's nothing special because I'm a receptionist and the phone always rings. But this was the weird part because when it rang, I looked at the caller ID screen. It read Mom. Oh, Jesus Christ. What did you do? I I picked it up. I said hello. And then I asked, Mom? Get the fuck out of here. No, seriously. But the creepy thing is, the phone just sat silent. I just hung up and cried at my desk. Holy shit. Right? Do you do you remember all the camping trips we went on as kids? I asked. Yeah, I hated camping, she said. I could guess why, but I was going to let her tell me why. I still do. It's such a damn pain, and things are always damp and the ground is always hard. I don't know how you spend time on the road in a tent. Your nephew always wants to go, so I make his dad take him. Do you do you remember camping out here? No, not really. I remember that old Winnebago, but not much else. Always smelled like diesel. Well, you were pretty young. We didn't camp as much after that trip. Whatever happened to that old camper? I think Mom and Dad sold it after that trip. Mom said she felt like it wasn't a vacation because she still had to cook and clean. We both laughed. You sure you're okay? She asked. I didn't answer at first. I just listened to the ocean waves crash along the rocks. Yeah, I said finally. I just miss you. How's Jack? He's good, she said. Want me to wake him up? That's okay. You probably need the break. That's true. Hey, I talked to Dad. He sounds like he's doing good. Yeah, he'd never let on if he wasn't. Thank God Kathy tells us everything. Yeah, he's a stubborn old man. Well, look, sis, I'm gonna let you go. I love you. Okay, I love you too. Please, be careful. Will do. And give Jack my love. I snapped the flip phone closed. She was okay. The only damage was my own. So maybe, when I close my eyes one last time, that will be that. And this memory will die with me and my father. And that, my friends, is chapter 20. Ugh. And now I'm going to blind you guys all. Angela, you made it. No worries, you made it 15 minutes ago. Okay, yeah. This is a pretty, you came in probably right in the middle of some tense stuff. So, anyhow, that is, hey, Chuck, how you doing? Hey, Kev. So, yeah, that was the tough chapter that, was kind of holding this book up. It was a tough one to write. And, and now it's out. And I'm glad it's out. And I'm glad that we're going on to the next chapters. So anyhow, yeah, that's one of the Chuck. Oh yeah, Chuck, you showed up too, probably right when it was getting pretty tense. So, um, aw, yeah, it was kind of tough for me too, Jessica. Yeah, I had was even holding on to some of my own tears as well, reading that one. Uh, but yeah, so like Broken Bird, um, I had a lot of foster brothers and sisters. Um, my parents were foster parents for quite a while. Even after they got divorced, my mom still took in foster kids, and there was oh man, those poor kids that we took in. Uh, a lot of them. um, had seen some shit, man. And their stories are a lot more heartbreaking than mine are. So I lived a pretty damn good life. Honestly, I have. Um, and but yeah, some of these kids, man, I just I felt for them, and a lot of them, um, I still talk to this day, and I consider them my brothers and sisters. And some of them, not so much. Um, but you know, uh, oh, good. How's it going, Josie? It's really good to see you. I will keep you posted. Thank you very much for stopping in. Um, so yeah, um, my parents took in a lot of foster kids. Mom took in foster kids all the way up until I'm not sure what year it was that she quit. But the kids were becoming more and more violent, and it was more than what she could handle. His mom had emphysema. She didn't have much wind, so once she got a hold of you, you were pretty fucked. But she had to get you, and that was your advantage if you were on her shit list. So, but yeah, there's a lot of stories I could tell from a lot of these foster kids that we had in. I think one of the most beautiful things about my parents being foster parents is that when my mom passed away, a lot of those foster kids showed up at her funeral, and when they ask you to come up and give a speech, a lot of them did, and whew, it was very, very heartwarming. Um, so my mom touched a lot of lives. She really did, and good for her. And she was by far, mm, she was by far, she was not perfect. She was not a perfect lady. She had her faults, but we all do. And nobody teaches us how to be parents. We just figure it out, you know. And I hope that I didn't damage my kids too much raising them. But they seem to be doing pretty well for themselves, so I'm very thankful. Uh, Wopila for that. But yeah, and my youngest one she's a pretty damn good parent, and that's a magic to see. I think you go through a lot of your life as a parent. You go through thinking, "Man, I really fucked my kids up," and they turn around and they prove you wrong, and that's pretty rewarding. Anyhow, got to lighten up the mood a little bit because this is bringing me down a bad place. Um, so seeing you guys out here, seeing you guys had come up here, um, that did bring me up. Um, so coming up this Thursday, Bobby and I will be back at it again, playing you some great music, horribly, horribly wrong. And let's see, and one Christmas song, Kevin. We do have a Christmas show planned. The funny thing is that Christmas falls on a Thursday. But of course, we're all going to be busy and stuff like that. So we're probably going to have it the Thursday before Christmas. I don't know. We'll solidify that on. Thanks, Chuck. The farting badgers and the bees. We'll solidify the Christmas part, the Christmas celebration, Christmas special, whatever. We'll cement that in next or this toe tapping Thursday. We'll let you guys know. We'll decide something on air. So you guys will be right here with us. So please join us for that. I don't know if Lindsay May is going to join us again. It was nice to have her last time. but she's pretty shy and she hasn't played in a while. So we can only cross our fingers and hope. Um, and then we will be doing coffee with friends on Sunday. I apologize for last Sunday because I know some of you were up for it, and evidently was not because I didn't wake up until 10 o'clock, right when we were supposed to start. And Bobby was sitting at the store all by himself drinking coffee. Poor guy. He should have just went live. I got to figure out how I can get him to be a collaborator on here so he can just get it started. And I could have just made my late ass in there towards the tail end. So, but for sure, we'll be doing coffee with friends on Sunday. So join us for that, and then again, be doing chapter 21, and I think chapter 22. I have to see how long those chapters are, but Broken Bird will be going into San Francisco, and he's gonna get his Jack Kerouac fix while he's there. He's also gonna make some really great friends, Seamus and Robbie. And he's also going to meet a uh, a possible love interest as well in San Francisco. So you guys will have to tune in next week on Tuesday for Tuesday Tales for at least chapter 21. Might do chapter 22. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But in the meantime, thank you guys all very much for coming tonight. I very much appreciate you. This was a tough night for me. It was a tough read, and I'm glad you guys were all with me. So, uh, yeah, I'm very glad you guys are with me. So, thank you for that. Thank you for being my friends, and thank you for your support. And thank you guys for sharing this event on your pages. I appreciate that very much. Have a great night, Kevin. You get 2 of these because you're awesome. And anyhow, thank you guys all very much. I love you very much. Y'all know that. And we'll see you guys in the funny pages. Again, if you guys miss these live events, you can always check them out. Facebook erases them. They delete these live broadcasts after 30 days. So if you need to do a deep dive on any episodes, you can go on my YouTube channel. It's at Bradley Bodeker 70 on YouTube. And I have it all, everything's all listed on the playlist there. I'll be downloading this one and that'll be going up tonight. So whatever parts you missed on this, you can head over on YouTube and watch it as well. So that being said, thank you all very much for coming again. Love you. Peace and bottles of hair grease. See you Thursday. Bye-bye. Ah.